Okay, everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison, and today we will be going over, I've not fixed my hair yet, we'll be going over why I think we've only got about 6 months left for a parabolic rise is going to happen in the whole of the markets. I think it's going to happen with Bitcoin first, obviously Ethereum, and then it's going to happen with the alts as well, particularly with the gaming alts. We're big on gaming just now, and obviously the NFT gaming alts in particular as well. So I think there's going to be a lot of stuff happening. I think there is going to be something happening as well. We might see a downturn in the Bitcoin price before kind of October. And I'm going to show you the charts to look at that as well. I've been talking about it for months as well. But the exciting thing is, I think over the next 6 months, towards the end of the year, I still think we're going to see a 100k Bitcoin price. And I still think we're going to see a 10k Ethereum price as well, which means alts are going to go mental nuts as well. So it's going to be a good one, so stay tuned. And I also want to give you news about the CYT Crypto Gems group as well, and our new venture. I partnered up with two great guys as well to go into a new venture, and we'll give you details of the first private sale that we've got in on as well. So I'm just going to see if we are live, just to make sure everything is up and running okay. Just to make sure everything, it is indeed. We'll just see who's in the house. We've got Rob Fiddler is in. Welcome to you, mate. Piff Rider is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Advin is in. Welcome back. Mark Innes is here. The legend, Mark. Expansion Channels is in. Richard Cooper is with us. Good to see you, Richard. Mike is in the house. And Goldie Boy is with us. Mike saying we'll get to messages in a wee second. Brundle25, Jonathan Higgins, Stephen Carroll, Jeff Colhoun is in. Monkey Tomo is in as well. Good to see you, mate. Okay, so we'll start with the markets. First of all, we'll just go over the markets, see what's happening in the markets just now. So just jump over and see what the hell is going on. Okay, we have an overall market capitalization of $2.2 trillion. I think somebody came out this week and said they expect the markets, I don't know if I've got it in the news stories, but they expect the markets to go to $400 trillion. That's 200x. From where it is just now, 400 trillion. Can't see that myself anytime soon, but I think he's talking about 2025, 2026 or something. But 2.2 trillion just now. Bitcoin dominance at 40%. At the moment, you can see the number of coins has gone up all the time. On the number, yeah, it is gone up big time from last week. I think it's up 1,000 from last week or something. So Bitcoin price 48,000. Just now, it's up 0.4% over the last hour. Over the last 7 days, 3.3%. Ethereum is up as well, not quite as much as Bitcoin, but it's up. Cardano didn't really move with the smart contracts coming out, and kind of said that last week. I didn't think it was going to move and it could actually drop. It's dropped a wee bit, not by that much, 2%, 3.9% over the last week. And what else is doing well? XRP still stable, still expect XRP. I think XRP is... It's a risky play, but I think it's you'll get a 10x out of XRP if all goes well with the SEC, and I expect it will. The SEC are being called into question big time just now, but I expect it will come good from the SEC, and I expect that to go to $10. Solana still doing great, but obviously what happened with Solana during the week has come down in price, $144. Expect that to go back up. Polkadot still a brilliant price. At $36. We've been talking about it since $20 to get into Polkadot, and is kind of nearly doubled. I still think it's a great price at $36. Terra up to $35. That's just done amazing. Avalanche as well. That's just on a real tear just now as well. Expecting that to go up big time. And the ecosystem for Avalanche as well. I think that's going to go up hugely, massively as well. What else has done well? Cosmos, we've been speaking about that since $20 as well, and that's now doubled, nearly doubled to $35. Still expect that to do big things as well. So the layer ones, I think all the layer ones are going to do amazing. Layer 2s, Polygon, is doing brilliant. I was checking out OpenSea, I was checking out a couple of NFT collections on OpenSea this morning, and a lot of them are on Polygon. The layer 2s, because it's gasless, and there's no gas fees on that. What else has done well? Elrond has gone up 26% over the last week. We'll just kind of have a wee look. Avalanche, 55%. Hedera Hashgraph doing amazing as well. Osmosis, Cosmos, Sushi. I believe Earlier Trades has been talking about Sushi quite a lot as well. Tron is up 24%. I don't see much happening with Tron, to be honest, but still there, still hanging on in there, and it might kind of surprise us all and just do, just kind of shoot up. At one point, there's still $8 billion market capitalization, but nobody's really using it, talking about it, I don't see. Shiba Inu has jumped up as well since its listing on Coinbase, up 32% over the last 24 hours, back up to 4.3 billion market capitalization. Shiba Inu was one of the first kind of coins or projects we got into in the group in a big way, and it was the first 100xer we had in the group, and we called it back in April when it was 7 million market capitalization, and it went up 100x. Well, it's gone up much more than that, 500x, and I wished I'd stayed in it as well at that, but made a lot of money from it, so not complaining at all. Terra, Tezos, Quant, yep, all good as well. We'll go to the next page for that, see what's doing well from 100 to 200. Just go to 7 days. Gala has been on an amazing run. That's probably gone to the top 20. A lot of people getting Gala nodes just now. But Gala's done amazingly well, 377% over the last 7 days. Sailor Network is up and coming as well. We spoke about that in the past. Electronium, not heard much about that, but it's up 68%. Orion Protocol, and we all know about that one. Rocket Pool, I think it looks like the DeFi is coming back as well. Function X, Olympus, doing well. I think Chico Crypto talks about that. Is it Olympus DAO he talks about? I think it's Olympus he talks about. That's doing well, up 31%. Ecomi is up 29% as well. Anchor Protocol. So there's a lot of good projects out there. They're just really going to skyrocket. We're obviously looking for the lower cap ones, but we want to get in on the bigger cap ones as well, because once we make money on the lower caps, then we start to put into the kind of higher caps, so we can make money on that, so we can double, triple, quadruple our money instead of looking for the 10xers or the 100xers. Okay, I'll just see who else is in the house. We have user, try it out. Good morning to you. Bitcoin and crypto. Berserker never joins anymore. I need to ping him and see if he is okay. Spoke to him the other day, Berserker, and he's doing good. Piff Rider Bart meeting. I have to have sound on at the same time as Steve is holding it live, or sound off. Rob Fiddler, I do recall you saying Luna would get to $30 when it was around $7, so great shout, mate. Yeah, I think Luna was a brilliant one to be in, and again made a lot of money from that as well. So that was, I think that was one of those calls you think, okay, this is going to go up 1,000% quite easily. I think it's a safe one to go up 1,000%, and it's getting there, because I think it was $4 at one point. We're talking just a couple of months ago, it was $4, so it's went up nearly 1,000%, and I still think it's going to double, treble from here as well. Any call for this week? We're talking about a couple that I've called. I called in the group, officially called in the group, one of them. So it's gaming projects I really like just now. I think gaming projects are doing amazingly well. So we'll look at that as well. We'll look at some of the categories that are doing well over the last week. Polkadot ecosystem doing well, and this is kind of when you're looking at the categories, this is kind of when they're grouped in, obviously, together. So Polkadot ecosystem up 9%, which is doing brilliant. Meme tokens, because of Shiba Inu listing on Coinbase, that's up 6.6% over the last 24 hours. Avalanche ecosystem up 31%. What else? Wrap tokens, ETH 2.0 staking 22%. Is up. And we'll talk about Ethereum as well when we look at the charts. Perpetuals up 83%. That's only a small group in there. Music, I think because of Audius, that's up 36% as well. Here's the gaming tokens. Gaming tokens are good just now because they're not shooting up. So the gaming tokens are a good price at the moment. And what we're going to do with regards to the gaming tokens, and I think gaming, as well as DeFi, as well as NFTs, really have a huge use case for kind of crypto on the blockchain. I think it's got a huge use case, and I think gaming is going to be one of the biggest kind of movers over the next 6 months as well. And that's why we're really talking about it in the group as well, or I'm talking about it in the group, and a lot of other people are. And we've just got into a private sale, and I'll tell you about that in a second as well. So gaming, we'll just kind of dive into that. So as I said, the gaming is 3.4 billion market capitalization. I'm expecting gaming to really at least kind of 10, 20, 30x. Sorry, it's 9 billion market capitalization. That's the 24-hour volume, 3 billion. So it's nearly 10 billion market capitalization. So as I said, I'm expecting it to 10, 20, 30x from here over the next year or so. Because I really think gaming and NFT, or NFT/gaming, NFTs, you've got different categories of NFTs, but NFTs gaming is going to be huge, I think. So look at a couple of them. Axie Infinity obviously leads the way, 3.8 billion market capitalization. That's the one we're going to look at. So when you're looking at games in this category, what we're better doing is looking at the volume. I think it's good to look at the volume and categorize it by the volume. So we can see here, excuse me, Gala has the 24-hour volume is 2.3 billion. That tells us something. That tells us the users are kind of buying into it. Users are getting into it, obviously with the nodes coming out as well. A lot of people buying the nodes just now. But the market capitalization is still under $1 billion. It's $800 million market capitalization. So this is what we want to be looking at. Look at the people that are using it, and we can. How do we find out how they're using? There's websites that can tell you what games are kind of being used as well. We'll look at that in a wee second as well. But the volume is going to tell you something at least. So I always look at the volume, and then when I see the volume and I see the number at the side, 241, that tells me it's a lower cap. So 241 for My Neighbor Alice, which has not came out yet, the game I don't believe, is only at 252 million market capitalization, and yet the volume is 238 million. That tells you something. So pay attention to those numbers when you're looking at that. So I expect My Neighbor Alice to go up as well. We'll just look at that very briefly. I think this is going to go massive. So it's only 348% up from its all-time low, which is not much. It's only a 3.5x and 64% down. So expect that to go up as well when you're looking at the games. So this is where you're going to get good price in the gamings just now, because people are focused on other things just now, focused on NFTs and focused on the level ones at the moment, and quite rightly so. But these are the times you pick up bargains as well. We'll just go down a couple. D-Race as well, doing brilliantly, up 126%. Volume is 12 million. At the moment, Star Atlas, 250 million market capitalization with volume of 18 million. Illuvium, we spoke about that months ago, up to 334 million as well. So look at some of the lower ones, but with good volume as well. Chain Guardians, you know what I think about Chain Guardians. I hold a lot of Chain Guardians. Chain Guardians is one of my biggest holdings for good reason. I'm going to show you something just now. Chain Boost. Now this is not the main part of what Chain Guardians is, but it shows you what they're doing with regards to the ecosystem. So Chain Boost is part of Chain Guardians. It's a Chain Guardians project, and what you do if you hold 500 Chain Guardian tokens, which are $1, $1.10, $1.15 just now. If you hold 500 of those, you can get the chance to get in on some of these projects. I'm going to show you one. So these are the projects that I've done. Babylon's Net VRK. Poker Fantasy has just done a 60x. I was going for 5 cents, and it's up to $3 this morning. So it's just done a 60x already, and this was launched on Chainboost. It was launched on other platforms as well, but it's launched on Chainboost, and you could have got a $500 allocation. So 60 times that, you're talking about $30,000 for a $500 allocation at the moment, because I think you got 25% with Chainboost, 25% released on the first day, then it's 25% every month thereafter for 3 months. So that's done a 60x. Forest Night is going to be amazing as well. I'll just turn this off. Forest Night is going to be amazing as well. That's going to come out in the next couple of days. That was a $400 allocation. The Hustle as well, I think that's going to be a good one as well. That's a music one. And Amasa, they've just released that as well. So to get in on these projects, you just need $500, and to play the game of Chain Guardians as well, if you want to play the game Chain Guardians. But this is just one aspect of Chain Guardians, and I think Chain Guardians is just going to go absolutely massive in the future as well. And at these prices, I think it's brilliant prices. But we'll look at some of them as well. I'm going to jump over. You just bear with me a wee second. I need to bring this up first. Forgot to bring them over. So we'll transfer that over. Chainboost. Transfer that over. Is that on now? And we'll do that. 1 wee second. Right, it's just to show you some of the charts I've been looking at as well. Okay, we'll just dive over. Okay, so this is Poker Fantasy that I was talking about just now. And you can see there, it kind of went, shot up to around about $3.50, then came right back down. So when you're going in an IDO, never, ever, ever, ever go in the first hour. Always wait for a couple of hours. And I kind of did a chart, a tweet, just to say, okay, this is trading within a channel on a 4-hour chart. Once it breaks out, it's going to break out big. And it did break out here at $1.50. And it went up to $3.77 this morning. And it's come back down since. People stay on off, obviously, taking profits. But that's been absolutely massive as well. But Chain Guardians. Here, Chain Guardians, $1.18 at the moment. And this was an ascending triangle. Now it's come out to test the ascending triangle. So hopefully it gets back in there and comes back out and shoots through the $1.50 range up to the $2.30 range. And I'm expecting this to go $10, $20, $30. I'd say conservatively $10. Realistically, I would imagine it's probably going to go to $15 or $20 short term within the next 6 months or so. I just think they're doing amazing things. They've got loads of different partnerships as well. So Chain Guardians, obviously I'm invested in that, but I've been telling everybody about it. You need to get into Chain Guardians, and I think it's going to be huge as well. CUMINU as well, a lot of people don't like it because of this kind of pawn. They're trying to take over from OnlyFans and a couple of other platforms as well. Very, very undervalued at the moment, I think. Again, I'm invested in that just purely for the business kind of money side of things. I think the tokenomics are great as well. DEXT tools, a lot of people not paying attention to DEXT tools, and yet everybody uses DEXT tools every single day. It's not really going up that much, but it's 87 million market cap, which is good for a service. It's not bad, but I expect this to go up more as well. MODEFI, that's still not moved yet. Expected that to go up more. And the oracles, when they come back into fashion, that will go up big time. And Veracity as well, expecting that to go up as well. We'll just look on this side of it. So this is one of the calls I made in the group. I'd kind of spoken about it ages ago, and it's part of my million dollar projects. So the $1 million project is whereby you want to get as much of this token as possible before it kind of starts to really roll, maybe $20,000, $30,000 worth. If you can't do that, obviously a couple of $1,000 or however much you can afford. But I'm expecting this to 10, 20, 30, 40x over the next 6 months to a year. Splinterlands, the user base on this is just unbelievable. The amount of people using this is just amazing. I think it's 287,000 users just now. The amount of videos on kind of YouTube and Twitch as well. And this is why I said, okay, this is a steal at this price. And I think this is the base price for it, around about 20 cents. It's at 24.8 cents at the minute. And I think the next kind of stage here is to go up to 50 cents, then break through to go to $1 quite easily. So I'm expecting this to go to $1 quite easily as well. FibSwap has started moving back up again and breaking out of a kind of downward slope here. We'll just get the chart up here very, very quickly. So you can see, we'll just go on to the bigger chart. Big things coming for FibSwap as well. And we'll just break here. So we had the descending kind of slope there. And it's broken out of that, which is a really good sign. So I'm expecting FibSwap to go back up to 1.6 cents again in the near future. And with news coming out in the future, not too distant future, I think this is going to shoot up big time. But FibSwap, really good buy just now, in my opinion. Do your own research and all that jazz. DOGEX had problems with DOGEX. They're still trying to sort out, but the team are still there. They're not rugged. They're still trying to sort out the contract, and they're going to swap to another contract. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but we'll just see what happens. Greenheart CBD went up as well. It went up to about 4.5 cents, but since come back down. Where did it get to? 5 cents. It got to, but since come back down. So it's kind of, we've got support there around about the 3 cents for Greenheart CBD. But this is a long-term play. It's only 5.5 million market capitalization. I think this is a brilliant play because it's marrying up kind of old kind of style business and with the blockchain style business. And I think they're doing it brilliantly. I think this is going to be huge in the future. And I've got the products as well. I'm using their products. So I'm invested as well, obviously. What was this one? I think this is what's going to happen with Forest Night. Something like Wanaka Farm. I've seen Wanaka Farm coming out and it just absolutely shot up from about 3 cents all the way up to about $4. I think something similar is going to happen with Forest Night as well when that comes out. I don't know when it comes out in IDO. It's done the IDO. I don't know when it's coming out on PancakeSwap. And this was the other one. This is, I tried to get into this one, but I didn't get it. Monster Infinite token. That came out and went to $2.50 as well. Already 678 FTV for that. So that's just gone phenomenal. And I think Forest Night is going to go the same way. I think same with Poker Fantasy as well. I think that's going to go, yeah, that's up to $3 again. So I think it's really going to blow. Okay, we'll just get back to the chat, then we'll go to some charts. What time are we on? 10:22, we're all good. So VR, you'll need to take that up with James. We did speak about that privately. And have to respect his decision. Sunil, could you give update on your thoughts on Cakepunks, please, Steve? Cakepunks, I don't know what's happening with Cakepunks. I think they got the tokenomics wrong. I think they should have used the token for the marketplace, and they might still do that. Cakepunks has kind of gone down. I don't know if I've got it there. I had it. Cakepunks. I don't know if this is the right one. Yeah, they've gone down big time just now, and they keep on going down. I think they got the tokenomics wrong. I think that's what's happened there. They should have used the token for the marketplace, and they brought out the next 1,000 NFTs too quickly, in my opinion. And they kind of killed themselves with that. But they might bring it back. I don't know. They might bring it back. I'm still holding the NFTs for Cakepunks. I do like them. But with regards to tokenomics, I just think they got that wrong. Hopefully they're still working on it. Hopefully they'll pull it back and this could shoot up again. It's only 613,000 market capitalization. So it might be a good time to get in. See what they're doing first. Might be a good time to get in. Chris from Edinburgh is in the house. Welcome to you. Ash is in the house this morning as well. John Wilson's with us. Rob Fiddler. So you need 500 CGG to participate in the Chain Boost IDOs. What's the process? Basically, you hold the 500 CGGs and the Chain Guardians token in your wallet. You log in, and you just click on a link just to say you want to participate in this, and then you'll get an email to say if you've been successful or not. Usually they've got about 200 to 300 people that can get in, and you'll get an email just to say, yep, you've been successful, click here to pay, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Really easy platform to use. Gordy Boy, could you look at Karura again, Steve? Last week it was around 8. Yeah, I'll check that later. John Wilson, hi Steve, any chance you could have a look at Wraith again? I checked that somebody was talking about that. Was that yourself, John? Grundle25, how about a look at NFT Lootbox? They have said big marketing push upcoming. I'll see if I've got time at the end. Stephen Carroll is in. Hi Steve, do you have any update on mini sports? I don't know about mini sports. I don't know anything about it, Stephen. Okay, so we'll look at some charts just now and why I think over the next 6 months we are going to go parabolic. Okay, so look at the Bitcoin chart at the moment. So I've showed you this loads of times before and it's still in play just now. So over the last, well, since the inception of kind of Bitcoin, what's generally tended to happen back in 2013, it kind of went up against this, went up through the midline of the growth curve, the Bitcoin growth curve, round about this time, round about April time to September time, kind of went up past the midline, came back down and then shot up to go to the resistance line up at the top here. That was back in 2013, and it did a 455% rise for Bitcoin. Round about the same time, 4 years later, round about kind of April time, went up through the midline, came back down, and then went on a parabolic run, 325% increase. The same pattern is forming again for Bitcoin. This is the pattern that's forming again. And you can see I've done this back at the beginning or end of June, beginning of July, this growth curve. So this line here is where I'm kind of expecting Bitcoin to go over the next few months. And I'm expecting it to go down to round about maybe as low as $40,000 before it goes on a run. Now that's not a bad sign. It's not a bad thing for that to happen, but I think it's going to be pure manipulation. So I think what's going to happen from here up until October time, mid-October time, when I said here that that's for about the 18th of October, actually corresponds nicely with what I'm going to talk about. We should start to see a parabolic run from the 50k mark all the way up to past $100,000, possibly up to $150,000 by the end of the year. But I'm going to say $100,000 conservatively. And it's all because I think of the ETFs. You've probably heard other people talking about it as well. And we'll just go to the ETF kind of news and show you what I'm talking about here. Oh. Right, this is what I wanted to show you here. Right, so this is from Eric Balhunas. Bitcoin futures ETFs are about halfway through the 75 days it takes for SEC approval of a 40 Act fund. Here's the earliest date they could and are likely to be, in my opinion, he says, approved based on when they were filed. So ProShares has filed an ETF and it should be seen on the 18th of October, possibly approved on the 18th of October, possibly. Invesco possibly approved on the 19th of October. VanEck possibly approved on the 25th of October. Valkyrie possibly approved on the 25th of October. And Galaxy Bitcoin Strategy possibly approved on the 1st of November. 5 ETFs, and there's also one from Fidelity who's been speaking in private with the SEC to push an ETF as well. So there's really 6 that are on the table just now. So they're really pushing the SEC for an ETF. Now, what's the big deal about ETFs? It's a huge deal. We've been talking about it for 3 years, since 2018. Since 2017, 2018 really came into the fore. So there's 2 things that's probably going to happen here. We're going to think about the ETFs and how big that is. An ETF is big because when you buy an ETF, an exchange-traded fund, when you buy an exchange-traded fund, the person that you're buying it from actually buys Bitcoin on your behalf and holds it. So that is a physically held Bitcoin. So it's not like an exchange traded note or any of these other kind of derivatives as well. An exchange traded note or another kind of derivative, you don't need to hold Bitcoin. But with an ETF, you need to hold Bitcoin, so it's physically backed. So it's like a gold ETF, whereby they have to physically hold gold in order for you to buy it. When you buy it, they hold it. They're holding it for you. Same with Bitcoin ETF. That's why it's so big. And it's going to be so big because the companies, the offer of the 5 companies, we've talked about VanEck, we've talked about Fidelity, Invesco, and all the others they're going to be holding it. They'll have to buy Bitcoin, either OTC or they've probably been buying it already, if I'm being honest. Either OTC or they'll be buying it from the exchanges. I don't think they'll be doing that, it'll be OTC. So that means the price of Bitcoin is going to go up. And the shortage of Bitcoin on the marketplace is going to go down. So there is going to be a shortage on Bitcoin when these big companies start buying Bitcoin for their ETFs. Now, my guess is they probably started buying already. My guess is also they probably started flooding big time already. And this is why we've seen a drop from 62,000 all the way down to $28,000. And that was only back in beginning of June or the end of June. So I think there might be more of that before they actually get in on the ETFs. So as I said, they have to buy Bitcoin in order to be able to offer the ETFs to their clients. And why that is important? Because it's regulated. It's a form of regulation. That's what the ETFs do. And when you get regulation, you're not going to get degenerates like us who are bothered about regulation. We don't want regulation, but to a degree there has to be, but we don't want it. But if we want the multi-billion-dollar kind of people to come in, then the ETFs are what they're going to buy. So they're going to buy into the Fidelity ETFs. They're going to buy into the Invesco ETFs. They're going to buy into the VanEck ETFs. And when they do that, they're going to do it on a big scale. We're talking billions of dollars here. So they're not looking for parabolic gains like 100%, 200%, 300, 400, 500, 600 like we're looking for in the cryptocurrency world. They're looking for 10% gains, 20% gains, 50%. And that would be amazing for them. Imagine putting in $1 billion and getting $1.5 billion back. That's how huge that is. When you look at the big numbers, you'll realise how the small percentages are so big for these clients. That's how important it is. And if they get the ETFs, you're going to get the multi-billion-dollar companies that are going to buy the ETFs. You're going to get the multi-billion-dollar clients, the richest of the rich are going to buy these ETFs as well because it's safe. They're going to be deemed as safe. They're going to be deemed as regulated as well. That's why ETFs are so important. So what's going to happen from here on in? We're probably going to see a run-up on Bitcoin. Here's what I think is going to happen just now. I think we're going to see a lot of FUD in the marketplace, whereby the price of Bitcoin is pushed down to maybe $40,000. And then we're going to start to see a rise from $40,000 all the way up. And it's going to be speculators like you and I say, okay, they're going to release the ETF, so I'm going to start buying Bitcoin. So they buy Bitcoin and it'll probably go up to possibly all-time highs. Whether or not the ETF gets approved or not by the SEC is kind of neither here nor there, because ETFs are going to get approved at some point. We just don't know when, but they are going to get approved at some point. So it's going to be people like you and I buying Bitcoin because we think the ETF is going to get approved, or the price is going to go down and then you're going to get the big companies going in because they know something. They know that the ETF is going to be approved, so they're going to start buying Bitcoin in a big way. And we're talking about going past the all-time highs, and this is what's going to happen on the lead up to the end of the year and probably into Q1 2022. So you're going to get this big rise for Bitcoin, which is going to then pull up the price of Ethereum, because there's going to be an Ethereum ETF that will be released on the back of the Bitcoin ETF. And I think it's a given that that's going to happen. And that is also going to pull the kind of altcoins up as well. You're going to get a massive run. You're going to get a lot of publicity on this as well. People are going to crowd into the space. Within the space of 6 months, it's going to go absolutely nuts. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. And everything's going to go nuts. All the altcoins, all the layer ones, all the kind of NFT projects, all the gaming projects, DeFi projects. I think it's just going to go absolutely parabolic. So picking the right coins is going to be crucial for you. But I think at this stage, I think you could throw a dart at a board, pick one, apart from the kind of the obvious kind of rug pull meme coins, stuff like that. But throw a dart at the top kind of 1,000 and you're going to get 5x's, 10x's, 20x's. I think that's what's going to happen. So if you choose even wiser and you're really looking at what you're kind of picking and really thinking, being in touch with the market as well, I think you're kind of talking about 20, 30, 40, 50x gains for your product as well. So just to show you how important this is, I'm going to show you a chart just now. This is a gold chart. And this is it back in 2003. Now, a gold ETF was approved in the US. It was approved way before that in Canada, but it was approved in the US in March 2003. And gold went from around $300 all the way up to $1,900. That is a big, huge 450% gain. This is how important ETFs are for the crypto market. Now, I say important, it's not really important to us just now, because whether or not it's approved, the market is still going to go up. It might dip for a wee while after it if it doesn't get approved. If they say no, we're going to delay it, it might dip again, but it's going to be approved eventually. We know that. We know that. There's no doubt in my mind it's going to be approved eventually. So this is what's going to happen to Bitcoin. This is what's going to happen to the market. This is what's going to happen to the altcoins once it is approved. That's why you're going to hear a lot about ETFs over the next couple of months. And this is why this is so important as well. So we need to keep an eye on these dates, mid-October, 18th of October, and find out what is going to happen with these ETFs, whether or not the SEC are approving them. So this is why I'm so excited about the next 6 months, because I just think it's just going to explode on the lead up to the decision for the ETF, i.e. the 18th of October. I think we could go close to all-time highs again, and that's going to bring the altcoin market up. Then if the ETF is not approved, we'll probably go back down, and then it'll just kind of taper off, and then it'll start rising again. But the ETFs are going to be a big driver if this does kind of happen. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that as well. We'll just go back to the charts just now. So yeah, I think we're going to go up to 100,000 for Bitcoin. It's following the pattern from 4 years ago as well. Ethereum. Look at Ethereum, this chart here. This is from a year ago. Well, nearly a year and a half ago now. This is a weekly chart for Ethereum. And you can see we're at the lower part of this channel. This ascending channel, we're kind of towards the lower part of the ascending channel. And I think we could see $10,000 quite easily for Ethereum over the next few months as well. This is just a beautiful chart. And if we're looking at the crossing for the 721 EMA, it crossed over back in April 2020. And it has never crossed back down to the downside on that. This is a weekly chart for Ethereum as well. So again, there's no doubt in my mind that Ethereum is going to go up to $10,000 and beyond. I think it's going to go beyond. And I think with everything that's happening with Ethereum, when Ethereum 2.0 is kind of fully realized, then and the merge happens and everything comes together, it's this perfect storm for Ethereum. I just think it's going to go 400, 500% from here. So Ethereum's still a big play in my kind of portfolio just now, and I just think I can't see anything going wrong with Ethereum at the moment. But we need to wait and see what happens, obviously. A couple of other charts we're kind of looking at. This is the Ethereum Bitcoin price. We're talking about that moving above there. Still not pushed through this slope descending line here. Still not pushed through that. Still 7.3% of the Bitcoin price. This is the Ethereum tracker. them in. This is kind of interesting as well. This orange line here is the Bitcoin price from 4 years ago, what I did 4 years ago, before it went up to $20,000. You can see Ethereum is tracking what the Bitcoin price did 4 years ago. Quite closely. It's tracking that quite closely. So I'm expecting that to happen as well for Ethereum, which means we could have a $20,000 Ethereum by March 2022. So still expecting that to happen. We spoke about this last week, Ethereum dominance. Up here, it's come back down for this cup and handle, and it's following that quite nicely as well. So you can see it's come back down, it's not went below it, and expecting that to go back up and above 20% towards the end of the year as well. A couple of other charts, Veracity, still doing well. We've got the crossover, the golden cross here, expecting a 10x for that over the next kind of 6 months, 3 months to 6 months. It's sitting at 3.6 cents at the minute. And this is Chain Guardians, again following this cup and handle formation. You can see that quite clearly. This is Axie Infinity price, this green chart here, and these are the targets that I've got for Chain Guardians as well. Target number 7 is $12.83, and it's following this handle pattern quite nicely as well. So I'm expecting that to go up to $2.30 quite soon, which is 100% gain for Chain Guardians. What else we were looking at? Cardano. I said last week, I don't think that's going to do much. I think it might actually drop, and it did drop when the smart contract came out, because nobody's using the smart contracts yet. I've no doubt it'll go back up, but I've just not got as much confidence or as much. I don't see it doing as much as the likes of Solana, as the likes of Polkadot, as the likes of Cosmos, or the likes of Luna. I just don't see it doing as well as those. So, but I'm sure it will still go up. I know there's a lot of Cardano followers out there, but I'm sure it will still go up. But it's kind of followed what I said it was going to do and dropped slightly and just kind of stabilised just now. So it might be on another run later on. We'll need to wait and see what the uptake is of using the smart contracts, adapts actually using the smart contracts. So see what happens there. Now go back to some news that I was kind of looking at. I'll just go back to the chat. What time are we on? 10:41. Right. Wesley is in the house. Welcome to you. Good to see you, mate. Gino Dow is in. Long time no see. It has been a while. It's been a long time. I'm holding 2 billion Shiba coin. 2 billion. Wow, that's brilliant. And it's went up 30%. That's amazing. What price should I get in Solana? I think now is quite a good price to look at Solana. I think now it's about $144. I think it's going to go up from here. Koti is another big one as well. That's went up big time. We spoke about that last year lots when it was a small cap. You think ETH will go over 15k? Yes. Before the end of this year. I don't know before the end of this year, but it will go over 15k. I have no doubt about that as well. Omar, I'd throw the dart and land on Bab, knowing my luck. Bab is actually doing okay just now. But that was a literal LOL there. Your gold chart is a big cup and handle. Yeah, it is. I noticed that earlier on as well. It sounds very logical. Stephen Carroll. Angus C is in the house as well. Welcome to you. Okay, a couple of news stories. The big one for me and for a couple of our partners. I partnered up with Wesley and Jeremy, and we have created CYT Blockchain Ventures. CYT Blockchain Ventures. And what we're looking to do is partner up with some of our contacts just to get in on some of the private sales that are coming out. And we think we've gotten into a doozy. The very first one, we think we've gone into an amazing one called MetaWars. Now, MetaWars is this. You go to metawars.gg. You can enlist to activate, put in your email address. I've done this already. And you'll see a whole load of binary numbers coming up. I thought that actually meant something, but I don't think it does now, actually. but you can go to Twitter, etc. So they're going to be coming out soon. So we're quite early on this as well. So we've got it for 0.7 of a cent just now. And the pitch deck for this looked amazing. So I'm just going to go here and make this bigger. So this is the pitch deck for MetaWars. I think I'm okay to share this. Yeah, because it was in a group, in a Telegram group. So the graphics look brilliant for this. And this is the one we've kind of got in on. I'm just going to very quickly go through it. So Combat, Explore, Develop. So it's NFT based gaming as well. And I think this could be really big. So check out metawars.gg. I'm not going to go into it just now. I'll do a separate video on it. But that's the one we've got into as a group. So we got an allocation of $200,000 in the private sale for this. And we managed to fill it within a couple of hours. I think we filled $150,000 within the space of, I think it was about 30 minutes or something in the group. But we closed down the group because we don't want people just joining the group just to get in these private sales. So we've now closed down the group as CYT-Crypto Gems. You can't just join that and let everybody join. And we've made it private. And the only way you can get into that group is through an invite or an ad from somebody in the group. If that's seen to be abused in any way, obviously the people will get banned that are kind of abusing it as well. If they invite 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people or something and then they start shilling, obviously they'll be banned. So we have to be really careful about who we invite. If you're in the CYT-Crypto Gems group just now, be careful who you invite as well. So it's not gamifying it, but it's kind of like that as well. So you're kind of responsible for the people you're bringing in. So just be careful who you're bringing in. But that group, I think, is a brilliant group anyway. But I think closing it and making it private is going to really help grow the group, strangely enough, because of the quality of the people we've got in there as well. We really love kind of the crypto. We love making money as well, but we love the kind of tech side as well. We love kind of all aspects of crypto. And this was the first project we've got into collectively as a group under the CYT Blockchain Ventures logo. So really, really looking forward to that. And these are the kind of partners in this as well: Raptor, SynchBlock, Infinity Gains, ABVX21, Box Mining, Con United and Magnus Capital, and we've managed to get in on this as well. So we're really, really excited about that. So that's kind of our big news as well, and we'll be in the group. We're building out the website just now for this, but yeah, we've got CYT Blockchain Ventures has started, and we're really excited to see where that's going to go as well. So we've been really busy with that, really busy. And as I said, the other day we did our first kind of private sale, and we did a live AMA with that at the time. There was no glitches, nothing went wrong, and we managed to get it raised to $200,000, send that over to the MetaWars team, and hopefully it's going to be a big one for us. Alex Baker has already spoken about MetaWars as well. Superman has spoken about MetaWars. He thinks it could 100x. As well, so as MetaWars I think could be a really big one, and that's the Twitter. If you want to join CYT Blockchain Ventures on Twitter as well, we've just got that up and running just now, and I've got 76 followers at the minute. We'll just go back to some of the chat. What time are we on? I've not went to the news yet, but we'll look at some news after this. Revolutionists. Cardano is set to drop major news 25th, 26th of September. What's the major news is set to drop? Gina Dow, I'm going to invest another 20k. Should have put on 100k coins, VRA, Solana and 2 ETH. What's your thoughts? I can't obviously tell you what to do, Gino. But if you've made good money, 20k, well, I'll probably split that up. To be honest, I wouldn't put it in the... Depends how much it made, obviously. But if you've got money in the background, this is just play money. Is the 20k play money for you? I would split that up into safer kind of bets and look at the gaming side. but level ones as well. You could look at Cosmos. Solana could be a good one as well. Ethereum's going to go up 300% in my opinion as well. So it just depends on what you're looking for. Yeah, it depends on your level of risk and what you're looking for as well. User, thanks for making it private. Yeah, I think that's the best way to go. I was speaking to Kukla about this as well, and we were speaking about this, and we were in another group that kind of did the same thing, and it was a good group to be in. But we'll keep it private. Normally with the other group, I think what they did was just before they got into another private sale, they opened the group up for everybody and then closed it after an hour. I'm not going to do that because we want quality people in. So the group members just now are going to be responsible for the people they're bringing in, and that way it'll grow the group, but we know we're going to get quality people in as well that are going to help everybody as well. Pip Friday, or will we see Pulse overtake? I've never got into Pulse. I know a lot of people in the group are into Pulse, and Hex obviously as well with Richard Hart. It's not something I'm in at all. So I've never really looked into it or deep enough into it, if I'm being honest. So I don't know too much about it. Gordy Boy, Karura, please, Steve. Right, okay, love your TA. 1 second, Karura. One sec. I don't know if I'll be able to get on TradingView. So what I'll do, I like DEXT tools as well. Karura, will I? I'll just use this chart. Yeah, I can. That's on KuCoin, so that's good. Okay, so I don't know if this is a full chart, 20th of July. This is on the daily, so we'll look at the 4 hourly. So it's actually come down on the 4 hourly. We're crossing down to the downside at the moment, crossing to the downside on the 721 crossover, which could indicate it coming down. So we'll just look at the kind of traffic light charts and just do very quickly. I love doing the kind of simple traffic light charts. So we've got support here. We're going to say around about this area, and we're going to change that to red. That's your support area. And we're going to say resistance on the 4 hour chart is around about there. That's your amber, and your green line is probably going to go for the all-time high here. So we've got support here. It looks as if we've got support at $9.58 for Karura, so it could come down there and bounce back up. Below that, so we're going to put another red line in, and we're going to have support around about this area here. We'll put another red line in here, and this is how I do my simple TA, and I think this is the best way to do it. So I think if it goes below the $9.56 range, we could go down to $8.44 for Karura, unless it tests this again. So we could test $11.71 and break through that and go to all-time highs. So Karura is another good one, obviously. So it could well do that, but at the moment it's slightly bearish. Just now it's looking slightly bearish. It's looking as if it's going to cross to the downside on the 721 EMA crossover, and that would be a bearish sign for me, and obviously the red candles there. It's knocked on the door of this resistance line at $11.71. It's not made it, so it could come back down here to $9.60, then bounce back up. So that's what could happen with Karura. I don't know if that helps you there, Gordy Boy. Ergo looks like it has potential. It does indeed. What time we're on. I've not got that much time to look at the charts. Just followed the CYT Twitter. Excellent, thank you for that, Angu. I want in. We'll be able to get you in somehow if you know somebody, obviously me. Sold one of my investment properties, tripled my money. Excellent. Excellent, that's brilliant, mate. So you're doing amazing. Look at Shiba coin, it's moving again. We'll have a quick look at Shiba Inu just now, because that's something we were in before and loved, because it made so much money for all of us. Wow, look at that candle. A big 42% candle. So look at the daily. It's got a long way to go to reach its all-time high. But it's a good bounce. It's a good bounce off its base. There. Yeah. And I think Shiba Inu is one of the tokens. I'll forever be grateful for Shiba Inu, because it was one of the tokens that really kind of put my portfolio up big time, and I mean I could get into other projects as well, and the portfolio is just doing great just now, and it's because of Shiba, well, in part because of Shiba Inu as well. So be forever grateful for this. So never ever knock this token. And I think it's got legs. Coinbase, going into Coinbase, obviously it's doing much bigger things as well. It's not just a meme coin. It started out as a meme coin, but no longer, definitely not a meme coin anymore. And it wasn't soon after it came out. The owner came out and did a lot of things with it. He did brilliantly. Did amazing. Goldie Boy, thanks Steve, much appreciated. My pleasure, mate. Silver is a great buy right now, as is palladium and platinum, in my opinion. That's the revolutionists. Yeah, I'm not kind of into it. I don't know if anybody else is into that. Obviously you are. I'm not. I like the crypto markets. So I've never really ventured into kind of metals at all. I'm up 10k just today on Shiba. Fantastic. That's brilliant. I'm still holding a bag of Shiba. Never know, might go to $1 one day. You never know. You never know. If the market is going up big time, then you never know where the markets are going to go or end up. If it's only 2.2 trillion just now, and you think it's going to go up to 10, 20, 40, 50 trillion, or even 400, as somebody said, it could go up big time. Now, I'm going to skip the news. I had a couple of news stories for you. I'll very quickly go over them. Probably. Yeah, this was the one that said it could go up to 10 times in half a decade. In 5 years, he expects it to go to $40 trillion. That was Pantera CEO Dan Morehead. Somebody else said they think it could go up to 400 trillion. Bitcoin is still well poised to 100k by the end of 2021. Data shows. Yeah, fully agree with that as well. And PayPal, this was big news. PayPal allows all UK users to buy and sell Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. That's a big thing for PayPal and UK users. It was in the US they could do it, but now they've come out and say the UK can do it as well, which is brilliant. So institutional investors, Bitcoin ETF, looking for this ETF. Bitwise joins the long line of Bitcoin ETF applicants. That's talking about the gold, MetaWars, and there's some other news as well, but we'll just leave that just now. Okay, I'm still in a bag. Shiba King. Great show, Steve. Thank you very much, Gordy Boy. I think that's it for the moment. I'm just going to go back to... We'll see if there's anything moving. $2.94 for Poker Fantasy. $1.20 for Chain Guardians. Going up slightly. When this goes, it's really going to go Chain Guardians, I think. Axie Infinity is going up to $66 as well. Tower is another one I think could do well. And that's part of the Animoca brands. I love Animoca brands as well. I think they could do really well. And that's a good price at the moment as well. Just have a quick look through these. CBD 3.5 still. Dogex is not moving. FibSwap going to do amazing. Hero, I think this is undervalued as well. Step Hero. I think it's another gaming token that's undervalued at the minute. Yeah, I think it could bounce from here quite big. $1.28 is strong support for that. But I think Step Hero could bounce big time from here. And this Splinterlands was the big one I can announced, as I said. I think this could really go big time up to the 50 cent area relatively quickly. And on the 4 hourly, the kind of 70 EMA is crossed up to the upside of the 21. So 721 EMA cross to the upside has happened, which is great. What's it like on the daily? We'll just make this the last one. Yeah, still within that channel, but expected to go to the top of the channel. So at the bottom of the channel just now, expected to go to 50 cents and then break through that to $1. We'll just go one last time. Sunil, yeah, thanks, Steve. I have a big bag of Cakepunks that I got at that price, just got to hold. I think it might come back. They might pull it back. I just think they got the tokenomics wrong for it, and they might pull that back if they're going to listen to the kind of user base. So we'll see what happens, Cakepunks. But Cakepunks, if Cakepunks, the actual token, doesn't do well, we've still got Cakepunks tokens, NFTs as well. I still think the NFTs could do well, and if they abandon the project, I still think the NFTs could do well as well. So hopefully when Binance bring out their NFT kind of marketplace as well, I think that could be good for the Cakepunk NFTs, not necessarily for the tokens, but I think they'll pull up the tokens as well. So something might still be happening in the background, the token Sunil, hopefully. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your time here, as always. And yeah, it's going to be good times for the next 6 months. So if you're not in the group yet, get to know somebody that's in the group and just join the group as well. I think it's going to be an amazing place to be for the next 6 months. And then after 6 months, I might finally get to finish writing the kind of books that I started before I really got back into crypto again. We'll see what happens, but not for 6 months. Okay, until next time, namaste, take care, bye now.